it has the lowest number of blood cells. Okay, so please take note of this one. I'm assuming that it was even stated by Dr. Jackie. So this is how are you going to look at the slide, okay, of the blood, okay, of the blood in the slide that was dispersed, okay, wherein in this part you will see the zone, okay, this is what we call the head blood film, okay, and then the one at the center is the zone of blood morphology and the feather edge. So if you're going to look at that site class, no, you will have the good number. If you're going to look at the zone of morphology center or the center of the slide, then this is the picture that you're going to see, okay, at the zone of the morphology of the slide. Okay, so these were taken, okay, at the area of the zone of the best morphology. Okay, so you know already the different characteristic feature of the red blood cells, no? So your red blood cells are enucleated. So at this point, I'm assuming that you know already how come that the red blood cells does not have nucleus, or in which stage in the erythropoiesis. Okay, remember that in erythropoiesis, okay, during the first stages of the development of the erythrocytes, they are nucleated. But how come when they are already on the adult side, okay, of the red blood cells, how come they don't have nucleus anymore? So you need to take note in which state of the erythropoiesis does the nucleus, okay, was evacuated or evicted so that the red blood cells will appear normally as an enucleated cell. Okay, so if you're going to look at the center, which is the zone of the best morphology in your slides, then you will see your white blood cells. Okay, so these are examples of your neutrophils, and these are your red blood cells. Okay, so on the right side, this is an enlarged picture of your red blood cells on the right side, and then you will see some clumps of your uh, platelets. Okay, so these are clumps of your platelets. So the mechanism wherein there are packing, no? Packing of your red blood cells is called the ReLU formation. Okay, so take note of the ReLU formation. So you will see some ReLU formation because remember that the blood cells uh, will squeeze themselves, no? If they are going out of the capillaries, okay, through the capillary wall, okay, through diapedesis, then the blood cells will be squeezing themselves so that they will be able to get out of the capillaries. Okay, so that is your ROLU formation. Okay, so we now proceed to the. Okay, you need to take note of the normal. No, what is the normal count of your red blood cells? If you are going to look at your CBC, you know, it is very important that you know at least the normal value so that you could explain to your patient that if the patient's red blood cell is below the normal count, then you can say, patient, you have anemia, okay? So that you can tell them that you have anemia. So at least you must know the normal count of your red blood cells. Okay, so let's now proceed to the white blood cells. So remember that the white blood cells are, uh, if you're going to look at the CBC, the white blood cells counts is only around 5 to 10,000 per cubic millimeter. Okay, so you're going to count the blood cells per cubic millimeter, no, by just looking at the uh, number or the different white blood cells. Okay, so that you'll be able to count each and be able to say that if there are increased number of neutrophils, then you can say that okay, you patient you have neutrophilia because the white blood cells or the neutrophils is there are abundance of your neutrophils, no? So this is usually seen in patients, okay, with bacterial infection, okay, with bacterial infection. So this is how your neutrophils looks like, okay? They are consisting of around 3 to 5 lobes, okay, of the nucleus, 3 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this picture here, you have 5 lobes, but on the right side, you have only 4 lobes of your neutrophil, the nucleus of your neutrophil. So neutrophils are sometimes called the polymorphonuclear leukocytes, okay? It is also called the polymorphonuclear leukocytes. They are the most abundant type of white blood cells, consisting of around 60 to 70% out of the 5 to 10,000 of your leukocytes. And as I said, okay, usually it is very seldom that you have 2 lobes, no? Usually it is 3 to 5 lobes because if it is 2 lobes only, then it's very hard for you to see whether they are the 2 lobe eosinophils or your basophil. Okay? So that is the appearance of your sandali lang ha. Jackie, yeah, doktora, bakit?
Hello po, Doc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Doc,
Oh,
sa installation po nila, paano?
alin-alin?
Kasi po, Doc, nakalagay po dun sa Google Class natin, Team 15. Tapos, hahatiin sila sa 6 na groups.
O di ba yung
Yung
group 1
installation.
and 2, yun yung sayo. Di ba nakalagay doon sa announcement? Kasi nag-umpisa na ako eh, nasa akin ang group 5 and 6, yung kay Mel 3 and 4. So ang sa iyo group 1 and 2.
Kanya-kanyang ano po, Doc?
Oo, kanya-kanya na. Kanya-kanya na. Actually, nag-start na ako. Nasa white blood cell na nga ako eh. Gamitin mo na lang yung usual, o hindi na tayo magbe-breakout room kasi nilagay ko na dyan kung anong group. So gamitin mo na yung ano natin, yung Google Meet natin kasi nag-post ako ng Zoom, naka-Zoom kami.
Ah, okay
Oo,
po. Sige
kung
po, Doc.
kung wala kang way o link, di gamitin mo na lang yung usual Google Meet.
Yung Google Meet na
Oo,
lang po
oo,
ako,
kasi
Doc.
si Mel,
Ah,
siguro
sige.
nag-umpis na rin siya. Kasi nag-announce siya eh, group 3 and 4 at saka naglagay siya ng link.
Okay
Oo.
po.
So
Sige.
gamitin mo na lang yung atin, yung usual kasi kami nagsusum ako, yung aking Zoom ang ginamit ko.
Okay, sige po,
Oo,
Doc.
oo,
Okay
oo.
po.
Yun na lang din ang gamitin nyo para pare-pareho tayo ng i-discuss. Yung
Sige,
ipinost ko,
sige
oo,
po.
oo, oo. Yun din yata yung gagamitin ni Mel, oo.
Sige po,
Oo,
Doc.
oo. Yung ating clarificatory, siguro mga 2 o'clock tayo mag-umpisa ha. Okay, although rinig ng
Ah,
students kasi ngayon pa lang ako
opo.
gumagawa ano yun.
May 3 p.m. po kami na preceptorial.
O, kap kayo ni Mel?
Opo, Doc.
Ay, di ganito na lang. Paano kaya? Di mabilis lang naman yun eh. Di pag,
Opo, Doc.
pag hindi pa kayo tapos, ay di pwede mag-transfer yung mga ano sa akin, mga students. Oo, oo, oo. Mag-ipopost ko na lang na ano kami, magsusumuling na lang uli kami. Hindi pa rin ako tapos, hindi pa lang din ginagawa. Kasi akala ko meron akong previous clarificatory ng second LE, wala pala.
Doc, kayo na rin po magpo-post ng slide po, Doc.
Oo, yung para,
No.
di ba ang gusto nyo pare-pareho tayo ng i-discuss, kaya nga gumagawa ako.
Sige,
Oo,
sige po,
oo.
Doc.
Hindi pa nga ako tapos. Oh. Sige, sige, oo.
Thank you po.
2 p.m. tayo ha, 2 or 2:30. Oo, oo.
2 p.m. po.
Magpo-post ako kasi depende kung anong oras ko matapos. Sige.
Okay po.
Oo.
Thank you, Doc.
Mm. Okay, so nasa na tayo, class? Naghihintay pala sila. Akala nila magbe-breakout room. Magbe-breakout room. Okay, so nasa na tayo? We are already in the, okay, neutrophils. So neutrophils, if you're going to see, this is the same picture that you are going to see in the slides, no? Ganyan-ganyan ang itsura ng ating neutrophils. Kaya tandaan nyo na yan, no? Definitely lalabas yan sa practical exam. Okay, so from the neutrophils, okay, we will go to the second next most abundant, and these are your eosinophils. So how are you going to look? Remember, class, that we are now talking about the granulated. No, they have granules. No, the granulated. white blood cells, no? So your granulated white blood cells should be the neutrophils, eosinophils, and the basophils. Okay. So how are you going to differentiate the eosinophils from basophil? Kung titingnan niyo class, no, and we have a very good microscope, no, you will see some change in the the colors of your granules, okay, that is found in the eosinophils. They're orange color, no? Parang orange ang appearance ng granules ng eosinophils. Okay? So, your eosinophils, ganyan ang itsura, pwedeng ganyan lang, parang ang itsura parang, headphones ninyo ano, may nagko-connect na something in between, okay, so that it will appear as bilobe or the one that you see on the left side, okay? So it's either this picture that you see on the left side or you see on the right side. Okay, and how are you going again to differentiate? Okay, there are the color of the granules are orange in color. So this is how are you going to look at your eosinophils. So out of your 5 to 10,000 of your white blood cells, eosinophils is around 2 to 4%. Okay, 2 to 4%, measuring around 12 to 15 millimicron. Okay, the nucleus are bilobe. And the main function of your eosinophils is they kill multicellular parasites, okay, and phagocytose the foreign bodies, okay, and they were able to phagocytose the foreign body through the production of immune complexes. Okay, to the immune complexes. Kaya nga class, when I discuss to you the lymphoid tissues, no, I discuss with you the different immune system, no, so that you will understand some of the immune complexes. Okay, and then of course the eosinophil combat effects of histamine. Okay, when there is allergic reaction, so your eosinophils mainly release histamines. Okay, so what happened in patient, kunyari may anaphylactic shock secondary to allergens. So you'll have a very high number of eosinophils in the blood circulation. Okay? So that is what we call eosinophilia. So this is another picture of your eosinophils class, no? So this is another picture of your eosinophils. Okay? So that is your eosinophil. Okay, now what about the basophils? So they are also bilobe. Kaya nga lang kung titingnan nyo class, parang magulo yung formation ng nucleus ng inyong basophil. And then how are you going to differentiate it um, uh, from the eosinophils? No, they are consisting of the color of the granules are somewhat purple or bluish in color. Ganyan ang itsura ng ating basophils. Okay, so remember that the basophils are not usually found. No, they are very rare. Okay, they are very rare among the white blood cells that you are going to see in the blood smear. So this is usually around less than 1%, no? And they are usually found at the site of infection, okay, at the site of infection, and release substances mediate inflammatory responses. Okay, so you could see also this in patients with hypersensitivity and anaphylactic reaction. And remember that your basophils attaches itself, no, your IgE, immunoglobulin E, attaches itself to the basophil. By the way, class, aside from allergens, the eosinophil are also very high in patients with parasitism. Okay, so if you have a patient with parasites like Ascaris, okay, lumbricoides, no, they have history of parasitism, then what will you see in the blood circulation? There will be an increased number of eosinophils. Okay, then also your basophils are less than 1% of the total number out of your 5 to 10,000 white blood cells. Okay, so what are your non-granular leukocytes. So the first one is your lymphocytes, no? So your lymphocytes are the most numerous among the granular leukocyte. And remember that the leukocytes are high in patients or high in number or in high count or high in count in the blood count during an acute viral infection. Okay, kunyari, lalo ngayon, usong-uso na naman itong viral infection, upper respiratory system. Actually, sabi ko nga sa inyo, no, yung we had our face-to-face last week, yung face-to-face last Wednesday. Pagdating ko ng bahay, hindi na ako makagulapay. I am so tired. I have running nose. I have cough. Although yung fever ko is very low, okay, but I have body pains, okay, all throughout. Actually, hanggang ngayon, masakit pa rin yung buong katawan ko, no? But still, needs to work, no? It needs to work. And syempre, mahirap mag-excuse, okay, lalo in my part because I am the coordinator in La Consolacion. So, lymphocytes or lymphocytosis are very high in number in patients with acute viral infection and a chronic bacterial infection. So, ang ibig sabihin dito, class, hindi naman ibig sabihin is you have an acute viral infection like acute, yung uso ngayon, upper respiratory infection, which is the flu-like syndrome. But in cases like your, kunyari, the patient has tuberculosis, no? And infection is more than 2 years or more than a year. So it's considered chronic bacterial infection. So your lymphocytes are very important because they are the ones that produce antibodies. Okay, so you have three types of your lymphocytes. The small, okay, the small lymphocytes and your medium lymphocytes are the two lymphocytes that are seen in the peripheral circulation. So in the peripheral circulation class, kunyari, tumitingin ka ng blood smear. Okay, ng blood smear. So you could see this small and medium in the peripheral blood. Okay, 90% the peripheral blood, small lymphocytes are around 90%, and the medium is around less than 10% of the lymphocytes in the periphery. Now, what about the large? No, the large lymphocytes do not enter the peripheral blood. So normally, you don't find any large lymphocytes in the peripheral blood. Okay, because they are your large lymphocytes are actually your lymphoblasts. Okay, so they are your lymphoblasts. So normally, you do not see lymphoblasts in the peripheral blood. Saan kayo makakakita class ng lymphoblast, no? In cases when patients maybe has leukemia. Okay, kunyari may leukemia yung patient, then you can see a lot of this undeveloped lymphocytes in the peripheral circulation in cases where the patient has cancer of the blood or leukemia. Okay, so this is an example of your small lymphocytes. Okay, how are you going to look at the main feature of your small lymphocytes? No, so they contain a very large nucleus. Okay, and then sometimes you can see some small indentation. Okay, so this is some picture of the small lymphocytes. Okay, so these are pictures of the large lymphocytes, no? Sabi nga natin kanina, no, you will see a very large large lymphocyte considered as lymphocyte, okay, with small indentation on one side of your cell, and then you will see the cytoplasm of your lymphoblast or your lymphocyte. Okay, so these are two pictures of your large lymphocytes. Okay, so let's now proceed to monocyte. The monocyte is around 3 to 8% of the total blood count. So if you see, okay, a cell which is whose nucleus is U shape or kidney shape, okay, like a kidney shape or U shape. Then that is monocyte. Okay, they have large. They are the large of the form elements. Okay, around 12 to 20 millimicron, consisting of a basophilic cytoplasm with a very small eosinophilic. Okay, eosinophilic capable of phagocytosis, and then these monocytes are the one that transform to macrophages or macrophage. So they are usually the precursor of the most phagocytic cells, like your cover cells, which are also called the perisinusoidal macrophages or macrophages that are found in the liver. Okay, the alveolar macrophage or alveolar macrophage, which are also your dust cells found in the lungs, and your osteoclasts of the bone tissue, and you have your tissue macrophage or macrophage. Okay, so these are examples of your monocytes, although it is not seen as kidney shape, no? So these are some pictures of your monocytes. As I said, they could be kidney shape or U shape. Okay. So they have a very large cell. They are 12 to 20 millimicron, and then you will see that they are surrounded, okay, by a bluish, okay, a granulated cytoplasm because they are classified under the agranular lymphocytes or leukocytes, I should say. Okay, so that is your monocyte. Okay, now the platelets. So the platelets normally are also enucleated. Okay, so these structures here are your platelets. No, they are seen in clumps. They are seen in clumps. No, so that is your platelet. Okay, they are scattered usually very close to your to your red blood cells. So the normal count is around 150 to 400,000, no? So if you see a patient, like for example, no, today is October, no? A month of September to December is a month of dengue, no dengue period. These are the usual month wherein a lot of patients are contaminated or infected with dengue fever. Kaya konting ingat, no? Uso na nga yung viral infection after respiratory na sinasabi nilang COVID again, COVID ulit. And then um, you will have this platelet seen, okay, in patients, no, with dengue fever. So ang appearance class kapag dengue fever, no, the counts becomes very low or very low count of your enucleated platelets. Usually kapag in cases of a full bloom dengue fever, usually the count is less than 50,000. So kapag yung count is less than 50 or less than 60,000, medyo dapat the patient should be given a close monitoring, no? So, kapag may dengue fever, the monitoring of the the platelets monitoring should be taken from every 12 to 24 hours. Kasi pag talagang bumaba, there is a tendency that the patient will be manifesting some bleeding or hemorrhage. Okay, merong hemorrhage, no? Remember that the main function of your platelets is if they are involved in the formation of blood clots, no? So, kapag medyo less than 50,000, oh, it will be depending on the agreement. Are we going to transfuse platelets or the platelets to the patient or not yet? Plus kapag may dengue, you do not transfuse the whole blood, no? Hindi whole blood ang itina-transfuse. It is the platelet concentrate. Okay, so you're going to transfuse platelet concentrate wherein they are found in the small bag, okay? Yellow to clear fluid, no? That is your platelet concentrate and per bag is very expensive. Okay? So when during the time, meron akong isang anak na nagkameron talaga ng dengue, he is already showing some manifestations of hemorrhage and bleeding. Diyos ko, nakipag-agawan ako doon sa platelet concentrate. kasi I need 3 bags of platelet concentrate to be transfused, no? So, doon sa panganay ko noon before. Okay, so thanks for that platelet concentrate. Okay, he was saved and he is now a cosmetic surgeon. Okay, so platelets are small cell fragments, okay, produced by budding from the megakaryocytes under the influence of thrombopoietin. So you will see them in clusters, no? And as I said, they involve in blood clot formation. And the best characteristic of your platelet is they release serotonin. Okay? So kapag meron kang nahiwa ka, no? So serotonin will be released, okay, to that area, okay, where incision happened, so that the blood will vasoconstrict, the blood vessel will vasoconstrict. And because of the vasoconstriction produced by serotonin, then there will be a reduce in the blood flow, no? The blood flow to the area, okay, will clot, okay, and reduce blood loss. So that is your platelet. Okay, so we are already in the myeloid, no? In the when you say myeloid class, no? So you will be looking at the bone marrow, no? You'll be looking, no, sa slides, pag nagbumalik tayo sa 29, okay, you are going to get a slice of the bone marrow. Okay, and then try to look at the different stages, no? The different stages of the blood cells that you are going to see. Now, you need to take note, class, that that you have your stem cell, no? The stem cell is the origin. Remember that these stem cells, class, are pluripotent, okay? They are pluripotent cells. When you see pluripotent cells, class, these stem cells are capable of formation to other types of cells, okay? So, different types of cells could be arising coming from your stem cells. Okay, so in the development, okay, so you're going to differentiate that out of your pluripotent stem cells, no? There are two lines that could be produced, okay, by the stem cell. One line is the myeloid line, and the other is the lymphoid line, okay? So when you say myeloid line, so this is your myeloid formation class, no? So your pluripotent stem cells through myeloid line will be producing the myeloid stem cell. Okay, so the myeloid stem cells. And then out of this myeloid stem cells, no, you will be having three types of development. So you have your erythropoiesis, okay, and then you have your thrombopoiesis and your leukopoiesis. Now take note that your leukopoiesis, okay, could also be developed coming from the lymphoid cells. Now when your lymphoid cells class, okay, then it is a time that your lymphocytes will be developed, okay, coming from the lymphoid stem cell. Okay, so I think a while ago I was trying to uh, uh, tell you that why is it that in the formation or in the formation of the red blood cells or what we call the erythropoiesis, why is it that on the first stages of your erythropoiesis, the red blood cells, okay, the premature red blood cells are nucleated, and then finally, when it becomes fully developed, okay, when your red blood cells are fully developed, how come the uh, fully developed red blood cells are enucleated? Okay, so let's trace the erythropoiesis. So the point of origin, if you are talking of the formation of the red blood cells, is the progenitor cell. So you have your progenitor cell, okay, from the progenitor cells, the next stage will be the formation of the proerythroblast. Okay, then you have your um, proerythroblast, okay, from the progenitor cell of your developing red blood cells. Then you have the early or the basophilic erythroblast formation. Okay, so after the early or the basophilic erythroblast formation. The next stage is the formation of the polychromatophilic erythroblast. Okay? And then from the polychromatophilic erythroblast is the formation of the orthochromatophilic erythroblast. So in this stage, which is your orthochromatophilic erythroblast, is the stage in erythropoiesis where the nucleus, okay, of the developing red blood cells is ejected or evicted. Okay? So this is the presence of your polychromatophilic erythroblast. So this is the stage of your erythropoiesis where the nucleus in the developing red blood cells are evicted or rejected or ejected. So after the ejection or eviction of the nucleus, okay, from your orthochromatophilic erythroblast, then there will be formation of your reticulocyte. Now, reticulocytes class is the lifespan of your reticulocyte is only less than 24 hours. Okay, and remember that presence of reticulocytes in the peripheral blood. Okay, when you look at it in the microscope, and then you can see presence of reticulocytes, then it indicates that erythropoiesis is about to be completed. Okay? Or it means that erythropoiesis is ongoing. Because as I said, the reticulocytes lifespan is only less than 24 hours. So if you look for the blood smear of your patients today, and there are a lot of reticulocytes, when you get another blood smear tomorrow, you cannot find reticulocyte anymore. You cannot find that reticulocyte anymore because they were converted and becomes the mature red blood cell or the mature erythrocyte. Okay, so I don't need to discuss the characteristics of your erythrocyte. I assume that it was explained by Dr. Jackie a while ago. Okay, so from your myeloid stem cells, okay, will undergo the development of your platelets, no? So you have your progenitor cells, okay, the origin from the progenitor cells of your platelets is the megakaryoblast. Okay? So this is how megakaryoblast looks like. And through the assistance of your thrombopoietin, your megakaryoblast should be converted and becomes your pro-megakaryocyte. So this is the appearance of your pro-megakaryocyte. And again, through the action of your thrombopoietin, your pro-megakaryocyte will be converted and becomes your megakaryocyte. Okay? And then again, remember that in your megakaryocytes, okay, there will be eviction of the different small cells. Okay? So that because of the thrombopoietin from the megakaryocytes, then platelets, okay, your platelets will be produced. Okay? So this is how if the thrombopoiesis takes place. Now, how about the myeloid stem cell that will develop the leukocytes, which is what we call the leukopoiesis? So the progenitor cells, okay, from your myeloblast, the myeloblast clot, this is how it looks like. Okay, pagka nakakita kayo sa circulation ng ganito, so that is your myeloblast. Okay, and then it will be converted to your promyelocyte. And then from the myelocyte class, there will be three types of cells that will be formed. So it could be your eosinophils, okay, basophil, and the neutrophilic. But during the early stages from your promyelocyte, the first stage of your eosinophil is the eosinophilic myelocyte. Okay, and then from the eosinophilic myelocyte comes the eosinophilic metamyelocyte and then eosinophils. Okay, so this is the fully developed eosinophils. They contain orange granules and they are bilobe. Okay, from the basophilic myelocyte point of view, okay, your basophilic myelocyte. will be converted to basophilic metamyelocyte, ganyan ang itsura class, and then will develop basophil. Okay, so I told you already how are you going to differentiate it, no? You look at the granules and the cytoplasmic granules of your basophil. They are bluish or purple in color, while in eosinophil they are orange in color. Okay, from the promyelocyte for your neutrophilic myelocyte, okay, so neutrophilic metamyelocyte, and then the full-blown or the adult neutrophils. This is around 3 to 5, containing 3 to 5 nucleus of your neutrophil, adult neutrophil. Okay, then on the other side of your progenitor cells is the development of your monoblast or your monocyte. So from monoblast, it will be converted to promonocyte 2, and full-blown or developed monocyte. Now, in your lymphoid line is the development of your lymphocytes, no? So you have two types of your mature or premature lymphoblast here. They are your beta and the T lymphoblast. So your beta lymphocytes will just be converted and becomes your beta lymphocytes, and then your T lymphoblasts are converted and becomes your T lymphocytes. Okay, so this is the bird's eye view on how are you going to have some development of the different types of cells. Okay, that was discussed in the special property connective tissue, which is the blood and the myeloid. Okay, so I think ito yata yung last slide. Okay, so from there, do you have any question, class? Okay, class, we will meet at around 2 p.m. because I am not yet finished doing the clarificatory slides. We will just be discussing some points of view, no? Because we will have naman another face-to-face class before the exam. So just to have some, what do you call this? Some online clarificatory review just in case na biglang mangyari, eh makancel na naman ang klase. Okay? I hope na hindi na magkameron ng online exam kasi it's very difficult to uh, to make no yung immediate no yung preparation for the um shifting of the online of the face to face to the online. Okay, like what happened last time, imagine na print na namin yung exam, no? We already printed the exam and then biglang ini-announce na it will be online. Okay, so sayang naman yung pag-print namin, no? And then biglang it was converted to online during our first. Okay? And it is also very difficult to make PowerPoints, no, for the practical exam. Kasi iba yung nakita ninyo online, iba din yung pag nakita ninyo siya as the actual uh, structures, no, in the cadaver. Kasi sayang naman yung nakita niyo doon sa cadaver kung biglang magiging online ang exam. So do you have any question, class? We will meet at 2 p.m. for your clarificatory. Mag-a-announce ako kasi I told you, I thought meron akong slide ng clarificatory for the second long exam pero nung tinitingnan ko hindi ko siya makita. That's why I am doing another clarificatory slide. Okay, para maipakita mamaya. So do you have any question, class? Paki-ano, yung attendance nyo, paki-screenshot. Do you have any question? Do you have any question?